You're watching News 3 Now at 5. As COVID cases continue to rise here in Wisconsin, there is a dire need for more available testing.
And while we didn't see a record-breaking number of new cases today, health officials say those numbers are still extremely high. The latest numbers from the Department of Health show a 7-day average of 9,063 new confirmed cases. That means in Wisconsin, more than 9,000 people are getting tested for COVID each day.
Starting today, there's a new way at an old site that people in Dane County can get tested.
Unlike before, though, the Alliant Energy Center site will be on a walk-up, appointment-only basis. Brad Hamilton is live at the Alliant Center tonight with more information from health experts. Brad?
Susan and Eric, we did just find out that they added 1,000 appointments for the rest of this week to that site. And when you do book, we did learn from public health officials today that it takes about 1 to 2 days before you actually get to go in for your appointment. We also learned that once you do get tested, results will come in 48 to 72 hours. Now, this is the first time that the Alliant Energy Center has been a testing site in over 6 months. However, this time it is not a drive-through site like it was the last time. Instead, it's a walk-up by appointment only. Public Health did say Alliant will increase the total testing capacity in the county by 12% this week, with the goal of testing 500 to 750 people a day.
Today, things have been going great. People are well under 5-minute wait time as long as they register ahead of time. We can get you in and out of the doors, and we will be increasing the volume of testing here over the next couple days.
Public Health then hopes to increase that testing to 1,000 people a day next week, increasing that total testing in our area by 25%. And coming up at 6, we're going to hear from public officials on how they think this is going to help get this COVID issue under control in our county.
Brad Hamilton live at the Alliant Energy Center. Brad, thank you. Now let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti braving the elements on the weather patio. Gary.
Well, it's cold out here, but without much of a breeze. The wind chills are a little more tolerable than they were even 24 hours ago. Visible cloud track shows very little in the way of cloud cover across the state today. Most of that white that you see on the ground is snow that's covering the ground. Doppler track, just a few flurries downwind from Lake Superior and Lake Michigan, and that's pretty much about it. Last night, low temperatures were above zero for Madison southward, but below zero north of town. High temperatures today have only made it up to the upper single digits to around 10, and current temperatures now are in the lower single digits, with wind chills and times dropping to about 5 to 15 degrees below zero. By morning, we'll be down to around 2 below zero, probably reach our low of about 6 below around midnight. Tomorrow, though, temperatures will keep rising. The high of 29 won't be until late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that could include some accumulating snow by the end of the week.
Gary, thank you. Omicron is overwhelming hospitals while schools struggle with balancing health and education. But as Chris Wen reports, there is hope that the worst of this pandemic may pass in the coming weeks.
Across America, the current COVID-19 surge could peak later this month, but health experts say the next couple of weeks are crucial.
If you look what's happening across the East Coast right now, New York City, Washington, D.C., Maryland, probably Florida as well have already peaked, maybe Delaware and Rhode Island. You're going to start to see that in the statistics this week. You're going to start to see those curves, those epidemic curves bend down.
Data from Johns Hopkins University shows the decline is far from a trend, yet other regions of the country still haven't reached their peak. Hospitals in particular are struggling with the influx of Omicron cases.
Hospitals are stretched to the brink.
Nearly a quarter of U.S. hospitals are reporting a critical staffing shortage, according to data from the Health and Human Services Department. That represents the largest share of the entire pandemic.
We have more COVID patients than we've ever had before, but we also have less staff to take care of them.
Schools are also struggling to keep kids in classrooms in areas where transmission is high.
If you want to get kids and teachers back in schools, the way to do that is a multi-pronged approach, including flooding our schools with testing.
Vaccines still aren't eligible for children 5 and under, so the CDC director says the best way to keep them safe is to vaccinate all eligible family members around them.
People who are vaccinated are still protected about 70% against infection, especially if they're boosted. So the people who are ending up in the hospital, the people who are ending up very sick with Omicron are the ones who are unvaccinated.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wen.
The Chandler Halderson trial continues, and today the jury saw the actual saw blades and scissors found in an oil drum near Bart Halderson's remains, as well as shoes with apparent blood stains on them.
These are just a couple of items in a mountain of evidence. Brady Mallory takes us to court to show us what else the jury saw today. Brady?
Well, at one point, a deputy described the search of the Halderson home where they found the parents' IDs and phones inside of a pair of shoes in the garage. Chandler Halderson had told authorities he had received a text message from his mother's phone during the July 4th weekend saying they had reached the family's cabin up north. Authorities later determined nobody had been at the Haldersons' cabin that weekend. And throughout today, deputies and detectives involved in the investigation testified about the lengthy search they went through in those early days of the case.
When we're done with a tornado search, we'll find everything. And the district attorney looked at me and wondered what tornado search was. And I told him that we will turn the house upside down looking for whatever piece of evidence is in here that would have any value to this case.
Well, in addition to this evidence, investigators say they also have digital evidence, including things like flash drives.
Brady, thank you. We have many resources for you to access all of the information you need regarding this major trial. The trial will be live streamed when it is in session on channel3000.com/Halderson.
Now, there are certain parts of the trial we are not allowed to show, and you can find more information explaining that on our website. We've also posted a timeline of all the events that led to the trial from the last time the Haldersons were seen all the way to the trial date. You'll also find daily breakdowns of what has happened so far, and you can find more information through our news app as well.
The man who bought the gun that Kyle Rittenhouse used in the deadly Kenosha shootings will no longer face criminal charges. Dominic Black was charged with 2 felony counts of selling a dangerous weapon to a minor. Rittenhouse was 17 at the time of the purchase. Black will instead plead no contest to contributing to the delinquency of a child and face a $2,000 fine. A Wisconsin judge rejected an attempt to block a subpoena seeking to interview the state's chief elections administrator. The ruling is a victory for Michael Gableman, a former Wisconsin Supreme Court justice who was hired last year by Republicans to investigate the election. Attorney General Josh Kaul filed a lawsuit seeking a temporary injunction to block the subpoena seeking records from the commission and a private interview with Megan Wolfe. The judge declined the Attorney General's attempt to block the subpoena of Wolfe.
The legislature's Republican-controlled Rules Committee has voted to force election officials to publish rules on absentee ballot drop boxes and corrections. Now, this is a move that allows the committee to kill the policies. In the beginning of the pandemic, the State Elections Commission allowed clerks to create alternate sites for returning absentee ballots. An earlier rule allowed clerks to correct witness address mistakes without contacting that witness. Now, Republicans believe both policies could result in fraud. Today's vote requires the commission to publish both policies as emergency rules. Then the Rules Committee can kill them both. One of former President Trump's biggest backers is running to stay in the U.S. Senate. That would be Wisconsin Republican Ron Johnson, officially announcing his plans yesterday to seek a 3rd term. Over the past year, Senator Johnson has been a leading voice in downplaying the riots at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, as well as the pandemic. Not everyone is supporting Senator Johnson's decision to run, including some local health officials.
But what has really prolonged this pandemic and what has continued to threaten my colleagues and our patients and the families that we care for is the continued self-serving agenda of Senator Ron Johnson.
Senator Johnson had previously said he would not run for a 3rd term. A crowded field of challengers is vying for the Democratic nomination to face off against him in November, but Democrats say they like their chances. Now, the Republican Party of Wisconsin releasing a statement on the announcement. It said, quote, given the disastrous record of the Biden administration and the weakness of the Democrat field, it's no wonder the left is spreading distortions and falsehoods about Ron Johnson. Senator Johnson has been an independent leader who has the courage to stand up for what's right, and Wisconsin needs him in the Senate.
Lawyers are asking a federal judge to throw out a series of lawsuits from Democratic lawmakers and Capitol Police. All of them are asking that former President Trump be held liable for last year's attack on the U.S. Capitol. Skylar Henry has the details.
A federal judge in Washington, D.C. heard arguments on whether 3 civil lawsuits accusing former President Donald Trump of inciting the January 6th Capitol assault can proceed. 2 cases were brought by California Congressman Eric Swalwell and a group of House Democrats led by January 6th Committee Chair Betty Thompson. Two members of the U.S. Capitol Police Force filed a third suit seeking damages for physical and emotional injuries they say they suffered from the riot.
It often is difficult to draw lines between what is said and what happens, particularly when the person who's making the statements isn't the person actually taking the actions to physically harm somebody.
Lawyers for the former president want the lawsuits dismissed, claiming he has absolute immunity.
In part, what the former president is arguing is that he can't be sued because he was president at the time, and what the statements that he was making were official acts, that they were part of his official duties.
Meanwhile, here on Capitol Hill, another key Trump ally, Congressman Jim Jordan, is refusing to cooperate with the House Select January 6th committee that's investigating the attack on the U.S. Capitol. The committee asked for a voluntary meeting last month, calling the Ohio Republican a material witness, given his direct contacts with former President Trump on January 6th. In a letter, Mr. Jordan wrote he has no confidence that the Select Committee will fairly or accurately represent any information he could provide. A committee spokesperson accused the congressman of trying to hide the facts and says the panel will consider appropriate next steps in the coming days. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And former President Trump says he will address the House committee's January 6th investigation during an Arizona rally, which is planned for this Saturday.
The IRS says it'll start accepting 2021 federal tax returns on Monday, the 24th. Filers have until April 18th to complete their return this year. Treasury officials are already warning of processing delays. The IRS has millions of backlogged returns because of the pandemic, as well as limited funding. Coming up next, fire crews continue to investigate that deadly apartment fire in New York.
Why the building's safety measures are now being called into question. And later, why health officials say the emergency room is the last place you should go for a COVID test. We'll have details on that coming up at 6.
And a look at the markets to start off the week. The Dow falls almost 163 points. The Nasdaq with a late day rally after an early day plunge, up 7. The S&P lost 7, and we'll be right back.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Why consider the COVID-19 vaccine? For all the reasons behind the why, like being able to hug your grandkids, visit your grandma and grandpa, or hang out with your friends. If you're like most people, you want to get back to normal, everyday living. But all of this depends on putting this pandemic behind us, once and for all. Stoughton Health believes knowledge is power. Get the real vaccine facts at stoughtonhealth.com/fact check.
The Alliant Energy Center's COVID testing site reopens today. How long you can expect to wait for a test and the results. We'll get answers from public health officials. Also, find out what happened on day 5 of the Halderson trial. That's tonight at 6.
Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First One Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified most accurate team. First One Weather, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
At least 17 people were killed in what some are calling one of New York City's worst building fires in modern history.
Investigators believe a space heater may have started it. Isabel Rosales reports.
Dramatic video shows New York firefighters lowering a stretcher to the ground. On it, one of the more than 60 people injured in Sunday's tragic fire.
Firefighters are trying their best.
Officials say the fire started in a 2-story unit on the 2nd and 3rd floors. The flames only damaged the apartment and nearby hallways, but with the door to the apartment left open, smoke escaped and began to fill the entire 120-unit building.
Black smoke I could barely see from me to you. And it was very heartbreaking, especially when you see kids like fighting for their life.
While some got out, dozens were trapped inside, forced to smash windows for air.
Members found victims on every floor in stairwells and were taking them out in cardiac and respiratory arrest.
About 200 firefighters responded Sunday, fighting the flames, evacuating survivors, and resuscitating the injured. Many continued searching in the smoke, even as their oxygen tanks emptied, according to Mayor Eric Adams.
This is a horrific, painful moment for the city of New York. This is going to be one of the worst fires that we have witnessed during modern times.
City officials say the children killed in this fire were all under the age of 16. Now, some residents say that at first they ignored the sound of smoke alarms because false alarms are common in their building. Nancy Chen, CBS News, the Bronx.
More than 60 people were injured in the fire. Some residents say they ignored the sound of the smoke alarms at first because false alarms are common in their building.
Madison Fire just added its first transport ambulance in over a decade. That new ambulance, the 9th in the department's service, and went into service just yesterday. It will deliver care to the city's southeast side and all across the city of Madison. The new ambulance is meant to improve response times and shorten the time between call and care.
Let's get a look now at your certified most accurate forecast on this bitterly cold day. Gary Canalti has the weather. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Susan. Well, the good news is the winds really aren't going to be that bad tonight. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Well, we'll see that one more bitterly cold night without the brisk winds. The wind chills shouldn't be too bad. They might drop at times to around 10 to maybe as cold as 15 below zero, but not the 20 to 25 below zero wind chills that we saw last night. Tomorrow will be breezy, and those winds will be out of the south. Temperatures will actually start to rise right after midnight. We'll see temperatures either hold steady or rise a couple of degrees by early tomorrow morning, and then those temperatures will continue to rise all through the day and through tomorrow evening. So our high temperature tomorrow near 30 will probably not occur until just before midnight. Then as a weak front comes through late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning, the possibility exists for some flurries or even a little patchy freezing drizzle on Wednesday morning, although high temperatures on Wednesday should be up slightly above freezing in the middle 30s. As we look at Doppler track, you can see the lake effect snows downwind from Lake Superior, also downwind from Lake Michigan, but not very heavy lake effect snow squalls. Future track, though, shows the next weather system moving in for Friday afternoon, Friday night. This is 8 p.m. Friday. An area of low pressure scoots in from the northwest, one of these Alberta Clipper type storms that could bring snow through much of southern Wisconsin. It lightens up by early Saturday morning and then tapers to flurries. As far as the first guesses on the snow from the future track computer models, so assuming the storm takes its present path, we could be looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe a 4 to 6 inch snowfall. The other longer range computer model has the heavier snow out to the west of us and more of a 2 to 4 inch snowfall with a pretty sharp cutoff on the eastern end. So we'll have to keep an eye on that over the next couple of days, but accumulating snow certainly in the forecast for Friday afternoon into Friday night and early Saturday morning. Low temperatures this morning were slightly above zero here in Madison. We dropped to 2 for the overnight low, but much of central northern Wisconsin was below zero. Temperatures in the teens and 20s below zero up to the U.S.-Canadian border. But now we're starting to see the return flow on the backside of a high pressure system, bringing temperatures into the 40s and 50s out to the west where there's little or no snow cover. Compared to 24 hours ago, our temperatures are down, at least during the daytime hours, but notice out to the west, those temperatures climbing. That's a sign of things to come for tomorrow. Right now, upper level winds are from the northwest, but notice that bulge in the jet stream to the west of us. That's a sign that we're going to start warming up a little bit over the next couple of days and see temperatures actually slightly above normal. High pressure, though, located just out to the west of us. That will give us clear skies and a cold night tonight, but the good thing is that it'll also bring us very light winds, so wind chill shouldn't be much of a factor. Temperatures are already below zero through much of the northern half of the state. So for tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 29 degrees, but that probably won't be until around midnight. So about this time tomorrow, probably looking at temperatures in the mid-20s with brisk southerly winds. 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, a flurry or freezing drizzle chance Wednesday morning. Temperatures in the 30s for Wednesday and Thursday, around 30 on Friday, but then that accumulating snow Friday afternoon into Friday night and early Saturday morning. Temperatures turn a little colder for next week, maybe a few flurries on Sunday, and then maybe another system bringing us some light snow from late Wednesday into Thursday of next week. As we check out first warn traffic, roads looking in pretty good shape. There's the belt line at Park Street, traffic moving steadily in both directions at that point from the DOT camera. You can see on the map, a lot of green there indicating travel moving at the posted speed limits on the belt line, on the interstates on the east side of Madison. Travel on the belt line, 15 minutes either direction between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, 25 minutes from the belt line to Janesville on I-3990. A quick 16 minutes from Middleton to Sauk City on US 12. And downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. It'll take you 18 minutes. That's your News 3 Now for Sworn Traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. Coming up next at 5, we take a look back at the life and career of comedian Bob Saget.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Prepare to feel good in 2022. Join Planet Fitness now for zero enrollment, $10 a month, extended to January 14th. Enjoy tons of equipment in our clean clubs for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And $10 a month.
That makes me so happy.
You know what else will make you happy? Blowing off steam in our judgment-free zone.
It's all about the endorphins, baby. What's up?
It's this place, I tell you.
Amen, baby.
Feel Fit-tacular in 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 14th.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about everyday Verzenio.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad, and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. When it comes to saving money, the Marshalls are masterful. But back in the day, that was not the case. Today, savings is what drives them. That's why they chose Consumer Cellular.
You live and learn.
They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. Plus, AARP members get exclusive discounts. Switch to Consumer Cellular today and start saving.
Clog their defenses.
Sir, yes, sir.
Combat leaves debris and damage to your home and property all year round with a solution you can get and forget. LeafGuard is the only gutter system guaranteed never to clog, whatever the weather. Call 1-833-LEAF-GUARD today for a free in-home estimate and get a $50 gift card. Defend your gutters from clogs forever with LEAF-GUARD. Call 1-833-LEAF-GUARD today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Tributes are pouring in from the entertainment world for comedian Bob Saget, who died in Florida yesterday.
Saget was a major figure in television for many years, endearing himself to multiple generations of fans. Reed Binion has more on his life and work.
No buttered bread, and definitely no buttered Brad.
Actor and comedian Bob Saget first rose to stardom playing wholesome father Danny Tanner on the ABC sitcom Full House. But his journey in television started 2 decades earlier.
I moved to L.A. because of my dad's business when I was like 14. I would sneak into the Bob Newhart show and sneak into the Mary Tyler Moore show. I wasn't going to be in show business.
But Saget was destined for show business.
And next thing I knew, I was doing audience warm-up for Bosom Buddies.
Saget said his big break with Full House was something of a surprise.
Full House was an accident. I got fired from a job on CBS and was asked to be in Full House.
While starring in Full House, Saget made a second weekly appearance in American Living Rooms, hosting another ABC hit, America's Funniest Home Videos.
Did they throw you out of that easy chair again? Are you tired of having to go to the bathroom outside? I would be.
That meant Saget was in 2 top 10 shows at the same time. Later in his career, he continued to work in film and television, becoming known to a new generation of sitcom fans on CBS's How I Met Your Mother, acting as narrator and the voice of the future Ted Mosby. Saget also continued his stand-up career, which included the HBO special That Ain't Right, highlighting a very R-rated style that was in stark contrast to his G-rated character on Full House. In fact, Saget performed in Jacksonville just hours before he died, tweeting that he loved the show and pointing to his upcoming dates. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Bob Saget was just 65 years old. His cause of death has not been disclosed.
And stay with us for a final check of your First Warn forecast.
You're watching Madison's fastest growing newscast, News 3 Now at 5.
Sick of waiting for your furniture to arrive? Menards has furniture you need in stock. Plus, you get a free rug. That's right. Buy any upholstered living room furniture at $299 or more and get a free 5x7 area rug. That's $149.99 in savings. Need a new chair? How about a sectional? A new recliner or love seat? Buy one today. Get a free rug. Hurry up. Get to Menards before they're gone. In store only while supplies last.
Save big money at Menards.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Discover what's in store at Habitat Restore Dane County. You'll find something new every time you visit to keep your project on budget with low price and high quality home supplies. For one-of-a-kind items, shop Habitat Restore Dane County today.
So here's what we won't do. We won't let self-doubt win again. Because together, we're working on something more real.
Elbows in.
With a Real Planet coach for Real 360 support. That's Anytime Fitness. That's Real AF.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. It's the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. And trust your heart to Entresto.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, that moment when we see a patient smile is everything to us. So whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we're here to help you. Go ahead and smile.
Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile.
We've got a lot of news to cover tonight. The new information we're learning about New York City's deadliest fire in decades, the warning about space heaters just as a cold Arctic blast takes aim at the Northeast. Plus a CBS News exclusive, the urgent plea from the Red Cross as the nationwide blood shortage has reached a critical level. And the step we here at the CBS News are going to take to help. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
Well, let's go back to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
A little cold out there, but at least the winds aren't too brisk, so wind chills aren't too bad. There's a live view from the Edgewater Skycam. You can see temperatures now in the single digits above zero to around zero from the Dells northward, already below zero in central Wisconsin. But the wind chills right now are in the 5 to 15 below zero range. I mean, cold, but not as bitterly cold as the last couple of days. Look for temperatures to drop to around 6 below zero around midnight and then hold steady or even rise a little bit by early tomorrow morning. Our high temperature of 29 tomorrow probably won't be until about midnight, so we'll be in the mid-20s by late afternoon. Could see a few flurries or a little patchy freezing drizzle Wednesday morning. Temperatures in the 30s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but we'll see some accumulating snow from Friday afternoon through Friday night into early Saturday morning. Temperatures near normal or a little bit below normal for next week with some snow toward the end of the week.
All right, Gary, thank you. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. The CBS Evening News is next.